Hi guys, welcome back. I figured I would get an early morning read-in. And we got Scorpio. These are the original 13 zodiacs, not the 12 before they dropped a fire kiss. Okay, if you have any questions or concerns about that, just do your research. Find out about the 13 zodiacs. There may even be more, but I do the 13 here on this channel. Thank you to all my subscribers. Every like, share, anything like that, every comment that you leave with respect, I truly appreciate it. Okay, so we're going to get right into this. We're going to do Scorpio. That was really quick. All right, we got the 8 of Clubs in the reverse, and we got the Queen of Swords. So you could be dealing with somebody right now that may be shedding a little bit of light on some situation that you're going through, or maybe just in general of certain things that you want to accomplish right now. But we've got the 8 of Clubs in the reverse. Okay, so there's like a bit of lack of movement. This could be a bit of stubborn energy, or this could just be a situation that you've yet to overcome. Okay. Get a bit more on the 8 of Clubs in reverse. The Empress in the reverse. So this could be a potential relationship that you're in right now that maybe not going the way that you want it to go, or this could be somebody that has an influence over your life, or this is the same person. Queen of Swords energy with the Empress in reverse. Typically the Empress in the upright is somebody that's been through every queen in the deck, so that's somebody that's really responsible, respectable, somebody that knows how to pick and choose their battles. But in the reverse, they're not really using their intuition. They may not be using their gifts for good. They could kind of have like a bit of a struggle within themselves. So this could be yourself, take it as it resonates, or this could be somebody that you're interacting with. This could be somebody that you're working with. But whoever this is, they're creating some sort of stagnant energy. So there's no movement forward. Maybe there's just an issue that you want to resolve with this person, or there's something that you got to get past. Maybe something needs to be spoken between you and this other person. But whatever it is, this energy is not moving forward. What can we get here? Hanged Man in the reverse. So this is about perception. This is the way you're seeing things, or this other person is seeing things. They could be a little bit stubborn in their ways. Some people are on their own level, right? We all go through this whole spiritual experience, or whatever you want to call it. We go at it at different paces. So it doesn't mean that one's better than the other. It just means we all learn at different paces. We learn at different some people are more like visually stimulated, some people more auditory. So just because one person's learning one way and it works for them doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for everybody altogether. And this person could be struggling a little bit when it comes to their, I don't want to say conscience, it's almost more like that would be their intuition. So let's say they get a gut feeling to do something, and then they just go against it because everybody else is doing one thing, and so they kind of want to follow like the rest of the crowd, which is causing a little bit of stagnancy. Okay, let's see what we can get for these ones, the handwritten cards. What boundary have you not set for yourself? Okay, these are just the handwritten cards that I made. So that's really important when it comes to setting boundaries with people. Sometimes we let them walk all over us, and we kind of teach them how to treat us. And this could be part of programming, or this could just be our own, comfortability, what we're good with. So we want people around us, but necessarily it's not going to be the greatest idea for us when it comes to healthy boundaries and what we're supposed to be doing for our own life, which creates the 8 of Clubs energy in the reverse. And again, it could just be perception, how you're looking at the situation. You could be dealing with people at work right now, and let's say you're really good at what you do, and so people constantly come and ask you for advice, or maybe you're this Queen of Swords at the upright, and you always have an opinion on something, or you have a solution to something, which is great, but sometimes people will take advantage of that because of the fact that it's almost like you're doing the work for them. And it's not always the best way of going about it, because they're going to expect that every fucking time. So the boundaries that you need to think about are what you need to put in place if you haven't already done so. Use it wisely too, because we could put some boundaries up that could really cause some conflict too. But ultimately, it's what's good for you, what's best for you. Just because you put a boundary down, somebody may not like it, but that could be because they're codependent on you. They're just using something from you, right? Third eye chakra. So typically the Empress in the upright would have their third eye chakra lit. This person does not use their third eye for good, or they don't have it activated. The Queen of Swords could definitely have their third eye chakra lit, so this could be you, Scorpio. So you're able to see certain things and how they're going to play out, which is why I'm a little confused of this Eight of Clubs energy. Unless you have to, like, you're kind of forced to collaborate with this other person and you don't really have a, well, we all have a choice, but it could be like situational. So if you're expected to work with this person, maybe they're being a bit more kind of passive or whatever you want to call it, and they're not doing their part, then you kind of have to pick up the slack, which isn't always fun. And then ask your inner child one question and answer honestly. This would be more for your own inner healing, or this is what this person, this Empress in the reverse, has to do when it comes to the perception. They have to be able to be honest with themselves in order to move forward. You very well could have already done this, and just because you've exceeded to a certain level and you've got to a certain level doesn't necessarily mean that the person that you're dealing with have done so as well. If they abandon themselves and they abandon you, then don't feel bad for walking away. That's that healthy boundary that I'm talking about. So even when it comes to work situation or it comes to your own personal life, when it comes to setting boundaries, it's really important. If you understand what I'm saying right now, and if they're able to abandon responsibilities that they have for themselves, or even just doing their shadow work or whatever healing that they need to do for themselves, if they've abandoned that, then they clearly are not in a place to do anything for you, and you can't expect that of them. The only thing you can expect is your own results for yourself. So what you're responsible for is your own emotions, how you're going to act, how you're going to think, how you're going to feel, what you're going to do next. So if you're relying on this Empress in reverse, or if this is your energy here, it may be a bit of stubborn energy. But if it is two separate energies here, because we've got the two women here, they could be men and feminine energy as well. Take it as it resonates. But if they are able to abandon themselves because of whatever unresolved issues that they're going through, then don't feel bad for walking away or saying, you know what, I think I will do this part. This is what I'm responsible for this project, and you could do your part, and that's what you're responsible for. And maybe give your manager or supervisor or whoever a heads up. Or when it comes to friends and family, make sure that the communication is there and you're talking to everybody specifically. Be like, this is my job, this is what I'm going to take on, this is what I'm going to do for myself to have some movement forward, and this person's responsible for this. Just letting you guys know. So there's that third eye chakra. Seeing in advance, making sure you're making the proper moves, having the communication, setting healthy boundaries for yourself. Have a little bit of trust as well. Trust in yourself. Trust that you're making the right decisions, and whatever voice you have, definitely use it to your advantage. Let people know if this is like a foundation, something that's been created, or if this is a group effort and only one of you are seeing it a certain way, but the other ones are failing to kind of see it in the same light as you. Doesn't matter, as long as you have like some sort of game plan. And the Hangman in the reverse of perception, you could have already seen things a different way, but maybe other people haven't yet got there. Not to say that they haven't, or that they're not going to, but they haven't quite got there yet. What are the past life oracle card? What are the patterns? We got Atlantis, Atlantean ties. A lot to do with emotion, a lot to do with communication. We've got the dolphins there too. Any kind of unresolved things. This could be bloodline related as well. So let's say you're not spiritual or you're not religious or anything like that, and this other person isn't either, and you both don't recognize each other here in the 3D, what you've kind of come back as. And there's that lack of understanding of what transpired in the past in order to get some sort of resolution. Because this could go far beyond the mundane stuff. This could go far beyond whatever you're dealing with right now. And if there's some sort of resolution that needs to be had, or some sort of lesson that's supposed to be learned, if you both don't recognize what is supposed to happen right now, or what pattern is, or what cycle is being recreated so you can end this cycle, a lot to do with, this could do at school too. This could be a school. If you're not recognizing sort of things, there could be cross wires, or there could be some sort of unresolved things that were passed down with the DNA. I'm noticing that too in the seaweed. It's kind of like a helix, the way it's going up there. That happens a lot too. We come across people that just kind of enter our lives, and it just seems like they're just a random person, but it's not random. The divine universe has a plan. The divine universe usually calculates it pretty well, obviously taking into consideration free will and the choices that other people are going to make. But ultimately, if there's some sort of cycle that's being recreated, a lesson does need to be learned so we can get out of that Eight of Clubs energy. And I say we, it almost is like a group thing, a group effort. This could just be the collective as well. So consciously, we're all working together with the divine universe. We're co-creating, and that means we have our parts in this, and then other people have their part as well. Sometimes when it comes to people being stubborn, or they're using their gifts, or they're not using their gifts and using their intuition, there's going to be a little bit of push and pull. And very well could be too, if you are a strong person, you have your opinion, and let's say you're not so much stubborn, but let's say somebody's doing you wrong, or they're going behind your back, or they're doing something they shouldn't, and you call them out on it, you have no fear whatsoever with speaking your truth. Like, you'll chirp somebody out literally without any problems. And it's not a bad trait, but sometimes it could cause some issues too, depending how the other person takes it. You're not responsible for their reaction. However, if you already in advance know what their reaction's going to be, then you need to calculate that too. You take that into consideration. And yes, you're allowed to have boundaries, but also be doing it out of respect, and what's your intention behind it. It's easy just to slap, for myself, speaking for myself, it's easy just to slap a boundary down and be like, I don't like this, 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 and this, right? And you're not able to kind of, I don't want to say compromise, but you're not able to work with another person, and completely dismissive, then that's also your responsibility too, how you're going to get along with other people. So you can put healthy boundaries down, but if you just slap everything down all at once, it may take other people for a loop, and that could be this Empress energy in reverse. You yourself could be struggling with your gifts, or maybe you're not seeing the full picture of something. There will be some light shed on it. We are getting to midsummer, so the veil is going to be very thin. There's going to be more answers, but you have to be able to tap in and tune into those certain things. Whether you're masculine or feminine, you have to be able to tap into those things so that you could see whatever has been hidden. This to me is usually like the moon energy, but it can also be represented as the sun too. So that would be like inner child. And that's where that inner child questions and answering honestly would come in. It does help, regardless of whether or not you want to do the shadow work. It does really help to go within and get some clarity, so that you can have that closure. Have a bit of patience with yourself. It can seem like a bit of a test or an exam, which we all kind of here are being schooled. Like I said earlier, it's like a school, and we are supposed to be working together, and we are supposed to be getting along, and like a happy friggin' collective family. But it doesn't always, when it comes to the matrix, it doesn't always work out that way, because it's like our attention's being placed on, like I said, the mundane stuff, and we're so putting so much energy and effort into the everyday things or projects or work or something like that, and we get a little bit distracted, and it makes it a bit more difficult to go within and just have that inner peace and quiet. What else can we get here? Farming. Okay, you could be in the agricultural industry. This could be something that you're dealing with, or you yourself could be a farmer, or this is something from a past life like your ancestors went through. So dealing with a lot of animals, or a lot of food or products. It could be what you're consuming too. I'm getting that as well. So whatever you're putting into your vessel, whatever you're putting into your body is very important. Not just the water we drink, but the food that we eat. We're getting a bit of both, land and water. Okay, and I know that it's hard to avoid the chemicals being sprayed or the shit being dumped in the oceans and stuff, but do the best that you can when it comes to the foods that you're consuming. If you want to tap in to more of your energy, this does feel like it's already lit for you, but if you want to be able to connect more with source, then you're going to have to set some boundaries, not just with other people, but with yourself. So what am I eating that I shouldn't eat? You know, maybe I could take it easy on that. Or what am I consuming that I shouldn't put in my body? If you want to do some fasting, make sure that you're doing it and what's right for your body. If you're not sure, ask your doctor. There's intermittent fasting too. You don't just have to go without and starve yourself. That's not what I'm asking you to do, but it does give you some more clarity. It gives you a chance to kind of flush your body. People that have never fasted before, it causes a bit of pain because you have to get through that beginning stages where the chemicals that are released in your body that make you feel hungry, like you could eat and then 2 hours later you're starving, feels like you're starving, and then that hunger pain sets in when really you still have food in your system and it's still going through your whole body and it's yet to even exit. So you're still absorbing the nutrients unless you're eating things that are not high in nutrients, so like more garbage food, and then you're gonna feel hungry again, guaranteed. But the giving your body a chance, doing the meditation too during that process is really important. I don't know why I'm stressing this for you, Scorpio, but it almost feels like you're more so in the 3D matrix and not so focused on the spiritual side of it. Although you dabble, it feels more like you have priorities that you've already got set in motion. So it makes it a little bit, there's a bit of innocence there. It makes it a little bit harder because you've gotten wrapped up into what so many of us get wrapped up into. What else do we got here? Facing and integrating the shadow aspect of that you have ignored. All right. So yes, other people have their flaws, but we have our flaws too. And keep in mind, Scorpio, that just because there is something that we consider a flaw is usually also a strength as well. So let's say we have a phobia of something and we could face that phobia and get over it. It's going to open a lot of doorways, a lot of avenues for us to go down. So it's not so difficult. It's going to give us opportunities that we may never even thought could possibly exist because of the fact that something was in place like fear. So integrating the shadow side, this is your light and dark side too, your duality, which we all have. Okay, so if this is the duality, let's say your lighter side is more of the Queen of Swords, not afraid to speak the truth, speak up, say whatever the fuck you need to. And you got a lot of the root chakra there as well as the throat chakra. And then let's say your shadow side's more the Empress in the reverse, your potentiality, your actual hidden superpowers, let's put it that way, because the shadow side could be used for good as well, believe it or not. And when we integrate both sides, when we have an appreciation for both sides and we're not just favoring one over the other, thinking that we need to be like totally hippie or totally like ice queen or something like that, and take it as it resonates for genders, that we have some sort of balance there. We bust out one side when we need to, and we bring out the other side of light that we need to when we have certain situations that we're going to go through. And the third eye is going to help you as well, because you may very well already know this and you may be able to see things. Let's say you're just randomly doing whatever job that you're doing. Let's say you're doing laundry or something like that, and you start getting certain visions or certain things coming in or intuition about something. Listen, give it a second. You know, take the time. If you have some solitude there, take the time to go through whatever is being shown to you. If you're not sure about something, look it up. The beautiful thing about the modern age now is that we have access to so much information. Yeah, you got to discern the difference and you have to be able to sift through it because there's a lot of bullshit out there, but you can also discern for yourself. Take what resonates for you, learn about certain things. Let's say you get a random download about seashells and the whole idea of Venus energy or certain planets or an alchemic symbol or a specific number. Just look into it and see what the message is for you, because that could be a way that your spirit guides or your angels or whatever you want to consider is trying to communicate. If you're not seeing certain things in front of you physically, or you're not picking up the message that you need to see physically, then this may be for you. By doing the research and looking up certain things specifically, they'll give you the message that you need to get across, and it kind of opens up another doorway, like another synapse in the brain. Got death energy here in the upright. This is definitely Scorpio energy. Okay, that Grim Reaper energy. This is coming and clearing it. This could also be harvesting as well. Clearing out the old, making way for new. You've got the crow up here. Earlier today, I seen 2 crows flying over the house specifically. So that could be for you. That could be your message. You could be wanting to get more further up north, or get more into... I don't just want to say nature, but like forestry area, because nature could mean anything. It could be like a flat plain, it could be like a field, it could be this farmland, but this is more like in towards the woodland area, the trees and stuff. You maybe get some more information or clarity. And you've got the third eye chakra here too, that purple. All right, and be careful with your words as well, as you got the sword through the mouth here. So that can come back to bite you in the ass if you're not careful. Like, let's say you're just pissed off at somebody and you use the words to hurt somebody on purpose and cause some harm. All right, you don't want that kind of karma coming back. You got enough bullshit to deal with. So just be cautious with that. This could be a death of one way of thinking and clarity, new way of thinking. So clearing out old programming, getting rid of that shit, throwing it to the side, learning from past battles, learning from past pain that you've been through, or maybe even defeat, and still getting back up on your feet, all right? Still getting back up and doing what you need to do for yourself. Let's see, can we get more about this death energy? Quicksand. A movable sand underwater, sand yielding under the feet, something treacherous, all right? This death energy, to clarify, so it could be something that you're not seeing, or something that could be consuming as well. This could be this Empress energy in the reverse, whether this is your shadow side or somebody else that you're dealing with. Quicksand is usually very hard to get up out of. So once you sink yourself into a situation, make sure you know how to get out of it, or make sure you have a backup plan. If it is going to be something that you're treading on and you're not sure about it, test the waters first, or throw a stone or something like that. See what it is that you're stepping into. Pretty much watch where you're going. All right, don't just jump in feet first or head first. Sometimes we do that, especially with this Atlantis energy here with the waters. Sometimes we jump into certain emotions as well. Make sure that you have something to ground yourself with. All right. That's the thing about quicksand too. The more you struggle, the more you try to get out of a situation instead of just going with the flow, or kind of gently easing your way out, or finding something around you to kind of pull yourself up out of it. The more you struggle, the quicker you sink. And that's very, what do you call it? It's like a metaphor for that. It's really important, because sometimes a lot of us, even myself, I get in a situation, the more I struggle, or the more I'm thinking too much about the situation, or focusing solely on that and putting all my energy into that, the more that I'm going to keep manifesting the situation until I learn the lesson and I come up out of it. So fighting against the current's not always the best choice, and then fighting against quicksand's going to get you swallowed up pretty quickly too. There'll be a little bit of relief too from the test that you're going through. You're not kind of bound to anything. I don't see the Eight of Swords energy here. Does getting even with a person... well, how is your spite? Does getting even with a person resonate with you? If so, what does it mean? So if you really want to get even with a person, or you really want to cause harm, let's say the words that you speak, or you want to cut something down real quick, is it worth it? Make sure you're weighing your options there, and then ask yourself, what does it mean? Why do you need to, or why do you feel compelled to do so badly? And then that would be part of your shadow side, facing and integrating the shadow aspect you have ignored. If you're the type of person that likes, you know, an eye for an eye, if you constantly like that and you feel that that's a form of justice, ask yourself why, where'd you learn it, kind of where that first started, and then talk to your inner child or ancestors and ask them questions. That's the second one we got for inner child, so that'd be solar plexus energy. Definitely take a look at that. And then we got the World card in the upright. Ultimately, it's your decision. what you want to do. You have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you have the guidance that you need around you. You may not fully see it just at this moment, but if you are looking for specific signs and synchronicities, and there's a seaplane going right over top of me right now. If you're looking for certain synchronicities or signs, you're going to get them that resonates with you. So if you're in a low vibrational frequency, it may come in a little bit more negative for the signs. If you're in a higher vibrational frequency, keeping carefree and easygoing, interacting with your inner child, and that more lighter side of things, then the messages coming in may resonate with you in a higher standpoint and a bit more positive. So keep that in mind too. You have the star-like energy, the qualities, and gifts. So use them to your advantage. I'm going to get a little bit, what else do we want here? Past life, no. We'll get some Island Time Wellness cards for Scorpio. Got like 5 more minutes here. I got to change over the laundry. Ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. This could be with yourself or another person. Okay, if you're not ready to get into a relationship, don't force nothing. Make sure you take care of you first so you're good for the next situation. I see a turkey vulture and like a huge group of smaller birds. I don't know what those are. Those turkey vultures are massive. It's like bigger than my arm span, some of them. So transcending obstacles, whatever it is, this quicksand energy, this 8 of clubs, stagnant kind of energy, it could be self-inflicted or it could be people that you're dealing with. Regardless, you're responsible for you. Keep that in mind. And learning, we're all learning at different paces. So don't try to force things. Don't try to rush it. Have some patience with yourself. And it's a whole new phase for you. This balloon energy too, that would be interesting. Pull yourself up out of quicksand with balloons to completely different material. That could be to do with alchemy as well. What can you utilize to help you out of a situation? You could be very creative as well in getting yourself out of a certain situation. Cupid 0, have faith, love is coming, surprise, invitation, meeting, or hesitation. If you hesitate to go out, it could be yourself just trying to protect yourself from past situations or not wanting to deal with other people's BS. Let's say a lot of people gossip. You're allowed to call them out on it. Just because you're invited to an event or something like that, or maybe a gathering or a meeting. Let's say there's certain people you get along with, certain people you don't, but you're avoiding it altogether because of certain people you don't. Use that Queen of Swords energy. You're allowed to speak up and stand up for yourself as well, and still enjoy yourself. It's just setting that healthy boundary, not just with yourself, but with other people too. And you probably already know this as well if you got your third eye chakra lit. Hey, I'll get one more. Cupid's arrow. Sunglasses. Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. Certain people could be focusing on what you're doing, or you could be watching your surroundings and other people and kind of taking in all the information and data that you can collect for yourself. Gaslighting is a real big problem when it comes to certain people that you deal with, and that would be that healthy boundary that you put down as well. If somebody's constantly testing you just to push your buttons or your limits, this is a good test for you to see how you could be creative and keep yourself grounded and stable. And again, with that perception energy. Yeah, stabbed in the back, heartbreak, pain, separation, deception, and shocking attack. So just because others plan and plot or do whatever they do towards you, regardless of whatever the reason is, usually their own stability, they want their own safety, or they feel more secure if they take you down or some bullshit like that. And that's ultimately their own insecurities, and they can project that onto you as well. Just know yourself, okay? Know who you are. Speak up for yourself if you have to. We'll get one more from the book here. Deposit, to lay down, to lodge in place. Okay, this would be boundaries and to lay things out, to lay in place for preservation. This could be your own, you know, taking care of yourself. To entrust, to commit as a pledge. This could be a group activity or whatever group project that you're working on. Any material laid down and lodged. So something stuck in place. That's that 8 of Clubs energy. Anything entrusted to another. A thing given as security. All right, if you're going to be doing any kind of deposits, make sure you're checking any paperwork. That's the advice I can give you for that. If you're signing a lot of documents or constantly having to do your signature, it's actually called an autograph, not a signature. Signature is giving away something to somebody else. There's a difference there between an autograph and a signature. Okay, get 4 runes. Let's see what we've got here. We got Ingwas. Fertilization, actualization, beginning, balance, productivity, growth, common sense, family, home, relief, nature, frith, plenty, and faith. That's letter N and G. It also could be the shape of a diamond. And that would be root chakra, third eye chakra, and heart chakra. Let's see if I'm pointing to that correctly. This one right here. And then we've got Wunjo, joy, ecstasy, success, fellowship, peace, pleasure, glory, comfort, and serenity. All right, there may be some comfort that's going to be given to you, or some information that'll give you some clarity. It's also V and W, and then it's heart chakra and solar plexus energy. That's this one right here. And last two, got Othelon, very nice. Inheritance, heritage, tradition, nobility, grief, property, home, separation, group order, experience, plenty, goddess, and legacy. That's also third eye chakra, root chakra, and heart chakra. That's 3 for 3. These could be chakras you need to work on or activate, or what you're already currently standing in. And then we got Taiwas as well. So that would be the god Taiwas. Victory, honor, courage, warrior, justice, battle, sacrifice, authority, analysis, rationality, leadership, and duty. The letter T, and that's throat chakra and crown chakra. So definitely speak your truth. Make sure you're putting your boundaries down. Remember to love you. Please do.